It was 7 a.m. on a Saturday, and I was still groggy from a late night at work. I was hoping for a slow, quiet morning. Instead, my mother-in-law's voice pierced through the thin walls. "Get up. Make me breakfast," she screamed, loud enough to wake the neighbors. I sat straight up in bed, heart pounding. I had only been married a few months, and living with her had been challenging to say the least. I got out of bed, trying to keep my voice calm. "Good morning. I'll get breakfast ready in a few minutes." She scoffed, crossing her arms. "A few minutes? You need to move faster. I'm hungry now." I moved to the kitchen, trying to ignore her constant presence behind me, watching, criticizing every motion. She hovered as I cracked eggs, murmuring under her breath about how she had raised her own children better. I clenched my jaw, reminding myself that patience was key. She was used to getting her way, and now it was my turn to stay firm. As I plated the breakfast, she sniffed and shook her head. "This isn't what I wanted." I stopped, took a deep breath, and decided it was time to speak up. "I made breakfast to the best of my ability, ma'am. I hope you enjoy it." She paused, clearly thrown off. No yelling. No scolding. Just silence. Finally, she picked up a fork and took a bite. Her expression softened slightly. This is actually good." I smiled faintly, relief washing over me. Small victories mattered in this house. Over the next few weeks, our mornings changed. She learned that I had my own pace, my own way of doing things, and I learned to assert myself without fear. Gradually, her shouting lessened. She began offering help, asking questions instead of demanding. One morning, she even smiled and said, "You've really got a knack for cooking." I laughed softly. "Thanks. Took a few mornings, but I'm glad you like it." Our relationship started to shift. Respect replaced constant tension, and even laughter returned to our early mornings. I realized that the key wasn't confrontation or anger, it was steady patience and quiet confidence. By standing my ground and maintaining my dignity, I had taught her to adjust her behavior without creating conflict. Evenings became peaceful too. She no longer hovered in the kitchen, and she began to trust my abilities around the house. I felt a sense of pride and relief. Living together didn't have to be a battle. It could be partnership, even if unconventional. One Saturday, she handed me a plate she had made herself. "Thought I'd try your method," she said, smiling. I accepted it gratefully, realizing that progress, no matter how small, was worth celebrating. Living with my mother-in-law wasn't easy, but it taught me patience, resilience, and the power of quiet assertiveness. By the time I left the kitchen that morning, I knew something important. Respect wasn't demanded through fear, it was earned, one plate of breakfast at a time. And in that household, that simple truth changed everything.